key to where the lyre drums the beat, and the loving English feet that walked all over us. And every single night when we down would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus. Come on, shivering times, come on and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lanes up to the shambles. Come on, sound you salute, now let's do by two. Like Zulus, they had spears upon arrows. Oh, brave you placed one, oh, you're 16 on the gun, and you're bringing them damn tips to the marrow. Come out, shivering hands, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lanes of Kilshanble. Come, let us hear you tell how you slammed the great Parnell when you taught them well and truly persecuted. What are the sneers and jeers that you loudly let us hear when our leaders of 16 were executed? Come out, shivering hands, come on and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you rock like Galloway from the green and lovely lanes of Kilshanble. Come out, shivering hands, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lanes of Kilshanble.
I did fix shields up slightly. I did what I kind of committed to what I was hinting at what I wanted to do, with the idea that each shield has a different AV versus energy shield to it. I should call that energy defense, actually. ED. So things like the dueling buckler gives you a little bit more armor. However, you don't have any energy bonuses. However, if you want that high energy bonus, you go for the scrapper shield, which doesn't give you any bonus armor, but it also gives you that bonus little bit to energy defense, which, dealing how energy weapons do less damage but bypass armor, can mean a lot. And then you just have the fucking war door, which is a 6/6 across the board, but it's also super heavy. Firearms didn't get much of a change. I'm still kind of working out what people are looking at there. Let's see. Hacks got their thing. I did add 2 new hacks. Where are you? Where are you? I know you're here. Ah, I only added the one, I think. But I put up Erect. I'm probably going to change the name, but when triggered, the hack creates a medium cover obstacle adjacent to the stack jumper, with the idea being that I am standing there, I am literally hacking the mainframe to erect something that I can get behind and now protect myself with slightly. Is it flawless? Absolutely not, but it works. So, and here is my sample list that I made. There are 4 dedicated Saint Muscovites. They're called Muscovite kill squads. Now, we have our samurai frame here with his flying sword, which is pretty much his entire gimmick, is get up close and slice you in half, relying a little bit on his armor and durability to take the initial punch in the face. I initially debated on going for Ronin with him. However, I decided against it because Ronin only get 1 armor rather than the 3 armor. 3 base armor, so it's like, I can sub out, save a little bit money, get a little bit more armor at the expense of not having those extra Juggernaut or Ravager functions. But he's not really the main point. The main point is things like Sir Perkvald, who's using a Gentoon frame, who can really abuse the amount of RAM being employed. Mostly when he has things like system optimizations, which allow him to pretty much reduce the cost of hacks significantly. And he also gets the overclock trigger, which allows him to reuse hacks a lot more efficiently. Mostly when you have things like jack jump, split hacks, cutting corners, and being able to jump between comrades and stuff like that. However, the cornerstone of the team is Saint Onyx here. Onyx has a fucking, he's acting first in just about every turn because he has a D12 plus 2, and he's going to sit back and he's going to not move, but he has an energy sniper rifle which is going to be able to plink away at enemies from a distance away. As long as he can get a good beat on you, you're going to die. Especially when he gets things like the Hunter Killer, which ignore armor, and Sentinel, which pretty much brings his firearm skill up to D10 plus 2 if he doesn't move. And he also acts as medium cover by virtue of existing, which is very useful. And we also have, finally, we have Doge here. Doge's entire thing is that he goes fast, he stealths around and hacks the points before anyone can really do anything. Mostly when he piles that up with the Cerberus frame, allowing him to bypass armor really easily. So, what do we need to do today? That's the big question. So, if we scroll all the way back up here, we have to worry about war zones. War zones and career mode. So, war zone's going to be covering about 3 different things. It's going to be covering terrain, what glitches do, and your overall objective. I have a few ideas how to do things. It's not going to be what we like to call complex, but complexity in this situation possibly isn't the best idea. So, don't worry. And finally, we're going to be working on career mode, which is going to pretty much be the RPG part. Definitely not the focus of the game. However, that was a request to add into that section of the game, so I'm going to put it in. It also allows me to put FIDs in, which I'm going to be making fun of it. And also, 5 note coin to whoever figure out what the acronym FID means in reference to money. So, war zones. Let's see, the main play, actually, administrators over the BYC currents of the world, allowing them to extend their power and influence over the grid, over the mainframe. These BYC currents are frequent, but when they do manifest, locations quickly become a war zone. War zone act as the skirmish size tactics game mode of TITS, having 2 administrators. I guess actually you could do a 1v1v1. That sounds really confusing, actually. So having administrators duke it out using their stack jumpers, claim victory on the field. Each war zone is split up into a series of hexes, which represent places the stack jumpers can move and interact with. Overall, there are 5 different types. On average, a war zone. Where's my map? Yeah, my very autistic math I did the other day. So we're looking at on average, a war zone is composed of around 168 hexes of 168 2-inch hexes. Let's see. Which will, on average, take up a 2 by actually be 24 by 48. I did my math wrong. I did do my math wrong. So it would be 24 inches by 14 divided by 28 inches. So about 2 by 2 feet. 24 by 28 inch area. of area. Smaller maps may be used. Smaller maps may be used for more claustrophobic. Claustrophobic fights, or requiring a higher altitude, requiring different Z levels to be employed. See, at the end of this, what I get to put in is the oh no rule of like, hey, I want to use inches instead. Turn down the frankly beautiful music, but I need to actually be able to listen to myself think. So let's see. Okay, so if we're using smaller maps, may use more claustrophobic fights or different Z levels to be employed. Then we have the terrain. Train in a war zone is dependent on the location of the battlefield. Or exotic. Since the merge, various locations throughout the mainframe have become messy. Blending reality, blending parts of the world, blending parts of the world together as the servers crash into one another. Terrain falls into three distinct categories. Safe terrain, hostile terrain, impassable. Safe terrain. Terrain considered safe can freely be moved through. And a terrain considered safe can be safely moved through without any penalties. Penalties to movement or issues associated without any penalties to movement. Hostile terrain. Terrain considered hostile cannot cost 2 MV to move through. Cost 2 MV to move through successfully. However, a stack jumper may forego. May reduce. The stack jumper may move normally through it, but will take 1d6 durability for every tile they do, for every hex they do move through. So the idea being, let's say I move through 4 tiles of hostile terrain, and I just need to get to the other side. That's what I need to do. I need to run through here to get the cover, yada, yada, yada. So, do I have any of my dice? I do have some dice. So, how much damage would I take by virtue of just walking 4 tiles normally in hostile terrain? Excuse that. So, I would be taking 6, 5, 12, that'd be 17. Rolled another 6. I'd be taking 23 damage by virtue of just doing that. Because I can never roll well unless I need to. Unless I don't need to. Anytime I do need to roll, it'll be 1s. Because that's me. Impassable terrain. considered impassable, cannot be walked through. Cannot be walked through. Stack jumpers or daemons with flying can mitigate the problems associated with terrain, allowing them to freely move across it without issue. I feel like I'm missing terrain features. Glitches. That's what it is. Glitch. Shift 8. Impassable. Stack jumpers with flying. There is one additional piece of, actually, the terrain with cover is represented on the borders of the hex, representing cover, representing debris, natural cover, or buildings able to protect them. Okay, so now we need to pull up a hex. We'll use you as an example. You know what time it is, kids. It's time for paint. I said it's time for paint. Yes, there we go. There's paint. It's our favorite time of the day, where we get to open up paint.net and pray. So actually, expand canvas out. All right, so what we want to do is attempt to draw a straight line. Very difficult. And we're going to draw a blue line from here. So you want to represent this, all being covered. Okay. So if we do this, all right. Actually, let's change the blue. We will change the blue from that. We'll put it right here instead. What the idea is, we're going to take this area. We'll make it make it yellow. Alright, so what we need to do is make this section yellow. Make this, now. Make this section blue. And make this section orange. Alright, so the idea is I, as a person, can get attacked through here. Someone can draw a line of fire this direction or this direction, I'm going to get shot. However, if they try to draw a line forward, I'm going to have cover here. They can't draw a line here just because they cannot see me. However, if they can also draw a line of fire through here, they can shoot me. All right. I swear, I think I know what I'm talking about. Fun fact, I probably don't. I don't design skirmish games. Let's see. So we want to do cover. Actually, we'll call it cover in hexes. Cover blockers. So, a hex's borders indicate where the cover is properly. If a stack jumper, when tracing a line of fire, if the line were to cross any part of the cover, then the cover bonuses apply. If a stack jumper is behind 2 or more sets of cover, then they will only apply the heaviest version of that cover. So pretty much, if the first layer of defense, you're on it's tier 3 cover, being like it's pretty heavy cover, and then the second one's tier 2. If they shoot through the tier 3, they're going to shoot you. It doesn't stack or anything like that. Why I'm doing that is mostly to preserve my own sanity. Using an example hex here. Example hex. The orange line represents heavy cover, while the blue line indicates light cover. Yellow line would represent impassive. It would represent a wall unable to be shot through, while the black lines indicate open areas. Open areas. If a stack jumper were to get shot through the orange line, then they would possess heavy cover. But if they were flanked from the sides, and shot through the black lines, then they would be shot. Then they would be shot without penalty. Then they would be able to get hit without issue. Melee attackers ignore cover. Ignore cover as long as it is not fully blocked off. For example, by the yellow wall. So you'd be able to. What I should do is I should actually kind of do like an entire thing, but that seems really complicated and I don't want to do that. So we're actually going to make a second one here because I'm going to need 3 hexes right next to each other. Let's see, do we have a hex grid? We have a good hex grid available. Oh, there we go, pat. That looks like a really bad. Okay, there we go. Nope, that's a terrible one. All I want for Christmas is some goddamn hex grids. There we go. There we go. Put it like right there. And there we are. And we will apply. Thick are you? Okay, you're pretty thick. Choose 8. So let's start tracing. Our little emplacement right here. Little emplacement like right here. And then spin that bitch around and put the third one like right about there. And now we'll fill in some example ones. We'll make these gray. Actually, we will not do that. We'll do something like this. Put one like right here, so represent like, okay, you cannot shoot through certain terrain, you just can't shoot through. Do something like that. All right. Have the idea being, put it like right. Am I infantilizing some people? Yes. But do I care? Absolutely not. All right. Actually, no, we don't need that. We need rows. represent the hexes. So what we're going to do is instead we're going to put 48. Can we make that bigger? Can we make that 72 reliably? Yes, we can. Do we have Roboto on here? Yes, I do. B, C. All right, so this example is pretty much going to be A can shoot B, B can shoot C, C and A cannot shoot one another. All right. So we'll put this like right here. And we will bring it down a smidge. You would move by text. Do not move by text. Do not move with text. Fixed position on page. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. Our second example. Example has 3 bunkers fighting one another with a piece of terrain in the mid. With a piece of terrain in the middle. Blocking two of them. A can shoot B. B can shoot C. And B can shoot. A can shoot B. Actually, let's see. A can shoot B, but not C because of the blocking terrain. If the terrain was not present. If the terrain was not present or items were used to remove it, and then A could shoot at C. We're used to okay. Actually, we need to go into paint again. Actually, do I need to go into paint again? Do I need to go into paint again? Do I need to, how do I represent glitches? Actually, okay, I don't think I need to. But go on, paint. Glitches. Since the merging, parts of the world have begun to fall apart. Collectively referred to as glitches. To most stack jumpers, glitches are a death sentence. As moving through a hex affected by a glitch begins to send their frames in, begins to wreak havoc on their frames. Frames. Oh gosh. It's on. I like this coffee joint that just this opened up. It's nice and sweet. You can never drink your coffee really fast compared to other places. I always take my time with it. It always ends up in this kind of weird kind of cold by the time I'm done with it. But it's alright. As moving through a hex affected by a glitch begins to wreak havoc on their frames. Okay. When a stack jumper moves onto a hex, interacts with a node affected by a glitch. They actually moves onto a hex infected with a glitch. They will take. They are not only considered hostile terrain, all of the frames. Actually, let me see. The frames function. The functions. The stack jumpers functions. Functions are shut down. The frame will take an additional plus 1d6 durability damage for every hex moved. And if the frame ends their turn, ends their movement on an infected hex, then they will only have a simple action to perform next round. Regardless if they move through it slowly or quickly. The frame ends their turn on an infected hex, they only have a simple action to perform next round. When a stack jumper leaves an infected hex, they will roll a resolve check. They will roll resolve on a success. Actually, they will roll resolve wearing a number of successes equal to the number of turns spent inside of the infected hexes. If they fail, they are infected. They are infected and are unable to use any of their functions. Until it clears the next turn. As long as the stack jumper is infected, any melee attack against them A melee attack against them risks the attacker to be infected. Actually, as long as the stack jumper is infected. Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna put this in here. I might put that in career mode kind of thing. So I want the idea being like, if you get stuck in a glitch, bad shit's going down. Real bad stuff. You are fucked effectively. It could kill your functions. It's killing all your movement. You are just not doing too hot, and you are very exposed then. Your power is immediately cut. Now, some frames are fine. Like, oh, I'm in a pro frame. I don't have any functions. Ha ha ha. Yeah, but the problem is that you're taking a lot of durability damage. If you're taking a lot of durability damage, you don't get any of that. And I should say straight durability damage. Affected frame will take an additional plus 1d6 durability. Okay. Should an infected stack jumper die, the hex they were standing on is now considered infected. Infected with a glitch. On average, actually, at the start of a match, 1d, actually we'll call it 2d10 tile hexes are considered to be glitched. Randomly, 2d10 hexes are considered to be glitched. With both administrators determining where the glitch originates, where let's consider 2d10 hexes are considered to be glitched. God, how do I want to word this? At the start of a match, we'll designate a point, which is their origin point for the glitch, for their glitches. Then they will roll a 1d10, a 2d10. Yeah, we'll go with 1d10. So you can be 1d10 with a maximum. That would be a maximum at 20. Maximum 22 tiles would be glitched out. But you can also just avoid the glitches, just not deal with them. They will roll 1d10. 1d10 assigning number of glitched hex. Assigning a number of glitched hexes. At the end of the round, the glitches expand by 1 in any direction. So pretty much you can infect the entire battlefield with nightmares and make it not very fun for anyone. Pretty much it's a slow creeping Grey Goose scenario with the glitches. Is that like if everyone agrees, like, okay, hey, let's ignore the glitches. The glitches are going to be over there. We don't have to worry about it. It's like, all right, let's agree, and we're going to put down both of our glitches on the other end of the map. We're not going to worry about them, and we're going to be cool about it. We're not going to pretty much try to fuck each other over. However, it's a prisoner's dilemma, because I might put mine away, but you're going to put yours right on, like, a bunker place. That's been kind of established on the map. It's like, you son of a bitch. You fucked me. You fucked me, you bastard. So it's like, all right, cool. But if you have, say, a Judas is going to be willingly shifting that glitch around. They're going to be manipulating it and breaking it and hurting you, with it. You are willingly infecting your friends, and you are willingly, destroying, the battlefield to win effectively. Yeah, you're a Judas. Okay, you're betraying the battlefield effectively. Which brings me to, actually, if we have glitches, okay, we've got glitches, terrain. I'm gonna do deployment right here. At the start of the match, both administrators will reveal the amount of BYC they have spent. They have spent on their lists. The administrator who has spent the least will choose an edge of the battlefield to place down admin node and summon and place their stack jumpers. Who has spent the least and place their stack jumpers. Then the other admin administrator will do the same, but on the opposite edge of the battlefield. Special matches may have different deployment rules or locations. Those will always take priority over these ones. And what I mean by special deployment rules, let's say, for example, I have let's say, for example, our match is taking place in an arena. That's the entire thing. Like, we are doing an arena show, and the goal is, it's a king of the hill. Rather than choosing a side of the board, we have to spawn in our specific areas. However, I get to place down my units first. If I spent the least BYC, you place down yours second. And why is this important? This is important because I can set up my guys in a way that's going to be beneficial to me, or you might be able to set up your guys in a way that's kind of like an awkward situation. I might say, oh, all right, I'm going to, in this arena situation, I'm going to set my guys up on the side which I can quickly rush to, a heavy cover bunker and just sit there the entire match and plink away at you. While you, on the other hand, are going to be forced to deploy on a side without much cover. However, if I've spent more BYC, the opposite can occur. Or you might have a situation where it's like, all right, I'm a defender, you're an attacker. As a defender, the defender will always deploy first, attacker will deploy second. regardless of the amount of BYC spent. But, you know, the attacker might have 1,000 points, while the defender has only 500 points, but has insane cover. It has insane, you know, insane value, like on the lead up. Yeah. If a stacker were to get shot, glitches. Yeah, you can see that the this page is not having fun. And I can always tell when it's not having fun. See, this is useful having this, you know, the VSONA out. Because I can always tell when it is like, oh no, it's not liking this very much. See, so we'll do objectives. The objective of the match is determined before the game begins. Players may choose their objective or randomly roll on this chart. And we'll do what? We'll do combat. We'll fight one another. The administrator. Administrators may choose their objective or randomly roll on this chart. The administrators, stack jumper forces. Stack jumpers duke it out over the battlefield. After 10 turns, whoever has the highest amount, whoever has the lowest, whoever has suffered the most casualties, or sustained the most damage, is destroyed. Has lost. Sustained casualties in BYC, or sustained the most damage, durability, has lost. So pretty much, like, for example, using, you know, Perkland ups, you know, up a ways. Perkland, if Perk were to die in combat, I would have lost my investment of that 111 BYC. They would be 111 BYC up on me. But if I take out 2 of their guys worth 50 each, I'm still below them. You know, I've taken out more of them, but they're not worth as much as my one guy, which is kind of a valuable thing of, all right, we've killed their tent pole, you know, the person they're basing their entire strategy on, they've invested the most points in. Unless they kill my entire force, there's no way they can win. We'll actually call it a node capture. Stat jumpers fight over a central control node. It's in there, should I? Central control node. If either force successfully captures the node and holds it for a full turn, and holds it for, we'll call it 3 turns, they are successful. and we'll call it BYC. Yeah, let's see. Combat node capture. We'll call it. Actually, let's do Men of War Assault Squad. Men of War Assault Squad 2 game modes. We'll call it Combat Assault Zones. Territory nodes, specific territory nodes. Each node builds a victory count by 1. At 10 victory, make 10 victory points. That administrator is victorious. If a tie is reached, then whoever has suffered the most casualties loses. What would be some other good game modes for Skirmish? Let's see. We've combat, node capture, assault zones. Let's ask people in question time here. Yeah, we can do a capture the. We can probably do data hack. One administrator's forces is considered to be on the offense, while the other defense. The offensive team must successfully hack into a node belonging. Hack into the defender's admin node to achieve victory, while the defender must stop them within 10 turns. Let's see what people deathmatch. Well, that's combat. That's just combat. Capture the flag. That's assault zones plus node capture. King of the Hill is node capture. Actually, 3 rounds. I'll VIP. Forces must defend a VIP unit or escort as they are escorted across. That's the map. All the other administrators forces require, well, the administrators forces require that's combat. Let's see. One administrator must defend a VIP unit as they are escorted. Actually, one administrator's forces must defend a VIP designated among stack jumpers. If the VIP is alive at the end of 10 turns, then that side is victorious. We'll call it. We'll give them. Oh, data drop. In the center of the field. In the center of the field, a node containing valuable data. Data is present. Both teams fight over the node. And when it is successfully hacked, can the let's see. Both teams fight over the node, and when it is successfully hacked, then the data must be escorted back to the starting location, back to the admin node. That player, whoever possesses the data, cannot use weapons. There we go. Not flawless, but until I get some more ideas, this is... We'll call this heading 2, objectives. Perfect. 6. Battlefield casualties, administrators. Specific casualties successfully hacked. Control B, Control B, Control B, Control B. Select everything. Add-on. Sorted paragraph A to Z. Creativity is a meme. So, okay, we've got our basic objectives. Got our terrain, got cover, got glitches. Actually, what I should do for objectives, okay. At any point, if an administrator is tabled, which means is tabled, losing all of their stack jumpers, they will immediately lose. They will immediately lose. Each administrator also has an admin node with 20 armor and 10 durability. If the admin node is ever destroyed, then they will also automatically lose. Don't lose the admin node. There we go. Big brain tips. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, we've got rain, we've got cover, we've got glitches, we've got everything I think we need down there. You can tell it's working because my computer is having a shit fit with it. Yeah, we've got most everything. Now we get to worry about career. Okay. So, career mode take role of a stack jumper squad. Individually controlling units in a curated battle for their lives against a malevolent game master. In career mode, the players will in career mode the characters operate the exact same as they do in war zones, but with added personality. And individualism to reflect that individualism. There are some bonus rules to be added to each stack jumper. Duke Jumper. Now you may be wondering, what do you mean, Notepad? What does any of this mean? The answer is, I don't know, because I never got lore for this game. So, we'll do stack jumpers. That's people. There's a stack jumper. Jumper. You are a professional mercenary / disposable asset. Being designed to be used and exploited by the administrators and their godlike hold on reality. However, you still have the autonomy. You need to act independently and move and struggle against the injustices of this world. Ah, God, what's actually, let me check. Random Savage World attributes. Is there a random generation for Savage World's characters? I do not believe there is. All right. How do we want to do random? How do I want to do random? Random. Everyone likes random generation until it's... Yeah, each stack jumper is assigned... Actually, let's take a look at stack jumper core attribute costs. Yes, core attribute costs just don't exist. I don't know why I can't click on, core attributes. I don't know why that's the case, but it do be that way. Okay, so if we want an average to be D8, so it's going to be looking at about... Okay. I don't really know how to do a randomized version for this. So what I'm going to do... So... Each stack jumper is assigned 30 BYC to... Actually, we can call it probably at... We'll call it at 35. So at 35, we can get 2 D12s out of the... So we're going to have 6 attributes in total. So if we want to do 6 D8, so it'd be 8 times 6. That would be 48. So if we give them 50 points, yeah, okay. Each stack jumper is assigned 50 BYC to assign to their core attributes. However, outside of the regular 4 attributes, stack jumpers during career have 2 additional ones. I have 2 additional attributes. There we go. There's 2 additional attributes. And they're going to have guts. GTs. The GT. Guts represents the stack jumpers. Jumper gusto. And charismatic ability in the field and in local hubs. Guts is all about personality. And frame operations, FO, allows the stack jumper to employ their frames to great effect and manipulate entities, manipulate things with them. Both of these represent aspects of the character that normally would not factor into gameplay in war zones. However, they do go by the same costs. How do I want to do this? So, okay. As mercenaries. As a stack jumper, it is your job to be an asset. Is to be an asset on the field and delve into combat heavy situations to assist administrators and their whimsical desires. Most mercenary stack jumpers already possess a frame fit for combat. However, individual administrators may grant frames for specific missions. However, individual administrators may grant frames for specific missions or loan them out for a piece of the profits. When creating a character, they have let's see. See if I want to be. They have 85 BYC to spend on frames, on a frame. Mod chips. And frames, mod chips, functions, and weapons. So if we have 85 BYC, I can purchase reliably a tier 3, but that's going to be like all of my fucking money. I could probably reduce it to, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna reduce it. I'm gonna give him only, we'll give him 75. 75 BYC, baby. You get fucking nothing. Actually, no, not even that. We'll give him 50. 50 BYC. That's all you get, bitch. Yeah, you can't afford an immortal, but you ain't going anywhere fast, and you can't even afford anything else. So you're going to be looking at either some cheap-ass tier 3s, or you're looking at something around here. You're going to be probably, like, picking up a barbarian, or picking up barbarians, soldiers. Kind of a tier 2 frame is pretty reliable for you at that rate. Mod chips functions. Functions, weapons. Unlike their Warzone counterparts, stack jumpers can freely acquire new equipment should the need arise. This need arise by amassing wealth. Amassing wealth from missions. Each mission, on average, missions will pay out a certain amount of BYC or FYDs. Of FYDs or BYC, depending on the goal. On the goals. Bids. Federally young dollar. What would be appropriate? Federally altered dollars. Federally altered dollars are the pearl currency. Pearl currency, and is most applicable and is mostly used throughout the mainframe. BYC, Litecoins, BYC is the currency of royalty, which is hard to pawn off. Outside of administrator or corporate settings. 1 BYC equals 2,500 FYDs. Actually, hello Salmon, how are you? I am trying to trying to fix the fucking music is one. This is, ironically, this is the last, probably episode of this. This is a game called TITS. Totally isn't Tron, I swear, which is a commission project. And it is a... That usually happens in Blood Bowl, so I understand. It is a skirmish game, kind of kill team sized, about playing robot people, duking it out and fighting for supremacy on the grid. Now, one of the main things about this project that was interesting is that it was heavy customization for every single one of the people of your squad mates. Collectively known here as stack jumpers. And what do I mean by heavy customization? To give you an example for this is the this is the things that like you just need to do to start off with to build a list. You choose your number of stack jumpers, all your core attributes for your stack jumpers. You choose your frame, which there are about 48 of them as of right now. You choose the number of your functions, then you choose the mod chips for those frames. Then you can purchase demons, which act as pretty much like summon basic units. and then you purchase individual guns and equipment for every single unit. That sounds very complicated, because it is. And one of the requests for this game was, outside of the skirmish mode, that there was going to be a, I would call it a role-play mode, called Career. That's what I'm working on right now, is getting the career aspect done. Yeah, so 1 Bytecoin equals 2,500 FIDs. Equal FIDs, but most proles may only. One Bytecoin equals 2,500 FIDs. Actually, if we really want to be, you do 5,000 FIDs, so it would pretty much be, if we go under this, we'll go to melee weapons. So a basic knife, let's go to, okay, let's do an ice pick. Ice pick is 6 BYC. And so that would be 30,000 FIDs. If we use yen conversions, maybe? Actually, let's do 2,500. 25,000. Yep, 2,500 FIDs. With the most administrators being worth hundreds of billions of BYC. It's just often converted into DCCs. Deluxe cryptocurrency at a 10,000 to 1, 10,000 BYC to 1 DCC conversion. So technically, if we're doing this correctly, 10,000 times 2,500, which would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 25 million. 1, 2, 3, 25 million FYDs equals 1 DDC, 1 DCC. Deluxe cryptocurrency. You will never have that much money. You back jumpers rarely reach that amount. When purchasing additional equipment, the stack jumpers have the option of either renting it for a mission and for the cost listed in the book, or paying triple the amount to buy the license, to buy the weapon, to buy the licensing fee to use the weapon permanently, to use the equipment permanently. Utility equipment. Cloud fees. With your mine being backed up, you're paying a premium to make sure it's not being mined for cryptocurrency. To make sure that 85% of your brain isn't being mined for cryptocurrency for one of the major corporations. As such, when you tragically pass, the current host will take a small cut of your current net worth, often around 50%. Take a small cut of your current net worth, around 50%, as a fee to make a copy of your brain, of your mindscape. Should a stack jumper be unable to pay their fees, then they will reduce one of their attributes by 1 die level, representing a part of their brain being redesignated. To mine FYD for the pro masses. Bodies are not cheap. Cloud. The cloud is not free. Don't die needlessly. If one is lucky, an administrator can often be convinced to provide death insurance to cover the cost of the mindscape copying, often at the cost of part of the payment for the job. Uh, 10 to 15 BYC. Wealthy, 30 plus BYC. Half of your current excessively wealth. Half of your current net worth. As fee to make a copy of your mindscape. Let's see, cover the mindscape copying, often the cost of part of the payment for the job. There we go. If it's all on one page, absolutely not. So we're going to put it as the last page. Or with excessive. Actually, we'll call it excessive wealth. Half your current net worth. All right. With this, I believe we are actually done. So let's double check everything to make sure. So yeah, we're looking at about 10,000 words for this. Now, mind you, it's not even quite done yet. Now, I'm going to be done writing it on stream, and I think a lot of the, what I would call meat of the game is done. However, there are still some things that need to get done, i.e., lore sections need to be done. There need to be more frames, which is a big deal. Frames kind of form the core of the game, and I only got up to tier 3, even though tier 4 should be a thing. The main reason is that I didn't quite know what else to put. I think that kind of summarizes a vast majority of this game, for me anyway, is, wow, look at all this stuff. I don't know what else to put here. Like, I think just having the lack of information kind of made it harder to ascertain, like, what's where, and that's why the weapons kind of feel a little anemic. So I just used the basic list of, like, assault rifle and energy assault rifle. I had to use things like that because, again, I don't have any backing for anything. It's lore list right now. It was just kind of me shooting, shit, throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. But did I enjoy writing TITS? TITS was fun. I think it proved that a concept that's been in the back of my head for a while works. I'll turn off the fucking music. It proved that this dice system that's been, dice-based skirmish system does work. And probably when I hit Lisa Badlands Rumble in the distant future, I'll be using the same concepts from it, just different approach to it. But can I do more with it? Yeah, and I think that's what's really going to boil down to is once I get a little bit more information, once some playtests get done, I'll be able to get a better idea for it. However, the 3 lists that I've seen so far people have made did indicate 2 things to me. One, there are a diversity in lists. People are very much approaching things at different angles and different ideas with different costs, and that's good. It's not just the same, the same thing over and over again. So there's nothing that's clearly, like, right off the bat, this is just better than this. That's good. I wanted to avoid that. So that's a positive. I think the other thing that I did notice was someone actually did make a thing which I can roughly call the breaking it game, which is having an excessive amount of units on the field. They had 60, which in a game designed for around 4 to 5, not good. So that got fixed, luckily. Point-wise, I'm looking at about 500. 500 BYC is about as good as I can get it. People were kind of struggling to get up to 500, so probably something like 300, 500, 750 is like the extent of what I can go. I don't really want to go any further or go any less than that. That's kind of going to be my range of things. But I think TITS works. This Tron game, it does work as intended. Except, it is very much the, I need to sit back and I need to see play tests of it. I need to see lists of it. It's kind of that just pure information stage before, and not really writing anything stage anymore. It's done. And that's all I can really say about it. It's done and it works. So, what are we doing now? What's next on the chopping block? So, with the end of TITS, which will never get old, we are going to probably be working. So if I open up, let's see, things NOTEPAD add-on wants to do. I should close you out. We are, if I scroll all the way down here with, and yeah, I ended it just around the time I thought. Probably this Friday, we are going to start on the preliminary episode of High-Speed Death Machine Chimera Dreamers, which is going to be an interesting beast because I wrote High-Speed Death Machine when I was in a funk. I was not feeling good. I hit that weird point where it wasn't really depression or anything. Like all of my creative juices are just went away. Like I was feeling I didn't have anything to work with, and then it was like, you know what? Here we go. I found it. I'm doing it, and I wrote it. It's not a long game. It's only about 18 pages, but it was trying to get across a very specific feeling of, well, being a high-speed death machine. That kind of triggering that feeling of being, John Wick mixed with the Doomslayer. That high speed, high octane, grab someone by the skull, beat them up against a wall, immediately jump to the next person as you are, shooting someone else with your combat shotgun. Hell, one of the things that you can do is just yeet your gun at someone and count it as a bullet because you were throwing it that hard. So, I think I don't think it's going to take very long because it's such a short game. But I think it might take a little bit longer than just like a single episode, like I'm thinking for Inchling, simply due to the fact that I need to just patch things up and fix things and do some, unga bunga, hit it with a hammer and hope for the best. But I'm feeling confident about it. I don't think it's going to be very long. So if we do the preliminary on Friday, I think I'll have a good idea of how long it's going to actually be. Which I'm suspecting 2 to 3 episodes. Though I might see it and be like, oh, this is going to take me like 1. And I might actually, if I think it's not going to take me very long, I may actually do it Saturday. I may just say, fuck it, and just power through it Saturday. Then we begin on Fear and Hunger Forgotten Chronicles, which is going to be a real big weird thing to write, and who I'm going to actually have to consult. Jaster of all people. Yeah, Sam, I'm gonna have to consult Jaster. Hell, he's the one who recommended me this damn game, so I'm blaming him for everything. Jaster's a nice guy. I will never say that he's not. He just is very opinionated on things. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to consult with him. Him and God, it's Team Feet guy on Merchants Guild. I'm gonna have to. He's beat the game like 3 times already. I need to just try to beat the game anyway. I've gotten. I haven't gotten very far, but it was kind of that immediate thing of like, I am interested in this game. I want to do something with it. Because I'm terrible at video games, but god damn it, I can write them. I can write games. So yeah, I'm gonna probably consult them. The weird part about that, which I've been trying to do, which I've been trying to find information on, which is not easy, by the way, is trying to find information about random dungeon creation. Because one of the things about Fear and Hunger is that it has a random dungeon with kind of these set places that aren't randomized, and I want to get that across when you're playing this game, is that you are descending into a very hostile and very unknown place. But the key but thing is the GM is not going to be a game master. He's just going to be the void, otherwise known as the voice in the dungeon. He does not know what the dungeon's randomization is going to look like. All he knows is that there are going to be specific places inside that dungeon which the story is pretty much going to take place. He's going to have a few tiles that he's going to be able to make, but a majority of it is going to be random. And it's just every dungeon that someone goes into is going to be different. And every time you delve deeper into it, you're going to find more things that aren't quite right. And I have the ideas. I have the concepts. And it's not going to be like a strict conversion of 1-to-1 for Fear and Hunger. It's going to be heavily inspired by it, though. Which I actually need to get a hold of the guy. It's the Finnish guy's name is, I think, Happy Paintings. and he's the guy who did Fear and Hunger. I'm gonna PM him probably, depending on how Chimera Dreamers goes, and ask him, being like, what do you want in this game? I am making it for you to shill your game because I like Fear and Hunger and you deserve more credit for this. You deserve more. So I think that's going to be an interesting endeavor. Let's see, what else are we working on? Then we move on to Fists of Chaos. Not looking forward to that one. That one's just going to be a fun game about punching. Yeah. Oh no. Fucking homeless Finnish man who writes great games. That poor bastard. I'm just like, God, give this man money. Give him money, please. But Fist of Chaos is probably not going to take too long. Insling's not going to take it long at all. The other terrifying one is going to be Endless Adventures, just because there's so much shit I need to do. That's going to be the real sad one. Just there's so much little stuff in that one. I have all the systems in place. Just putting them all together and making it work. Finally, Project Speed got an update. Project Speed now has a focus. It's going to be called Road Redemption Red Mist Running. If you've never played Road Redemption, it is a roguelite game about motorcycle racing and beating the ever-loving shit out of your enemies. Very cool little set, very cool little game. Always kind of goes on sale, and has some good ideas, has some wonky ideas. Kind of that beautiful jank that makes a good game good. It is, the thing is, Road Redemption is the spiritual successor to Road Rash. That's what they've literally built it as. Like, it is a spiritual successor to Road Rash. And it's called Road Redemption. You can find it on Steam. And I got back into it after like a year of not playing. And I'm like, I'm in, I'm getting it. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing all the parts fit together. I'm like, all right, I can make this work. I can make this work. However, I can get all the parts of that game to work. I can get the setting, I can get the characters, everything about it works. The only problem about this game about racing is the racing part. I have hunted high and low for a game about racing. There is no game about fucking racing. It's like, oh Lord. I've been trying to hunt that down for a while now, and I've found nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's gonna be, I have some time before I really need to worry about it. Car lesbians does not count, Salmon. I guess there's Gaslands and God, what was that other one? It was it's a Mad Max game. Yeah, no, so, Gaslands, that's it. Yeah, I've looked at Gaslands. Gaslands more about vehicle combo, with a lot more vehicle combat stuff, but that's definitely going to be an inspiration on this. It's just like I need to find that bite to make it work, and I have a feeling that I'm going to find it. It's going to be there, and it's going to work perfectly, but I just need to find that system. And every time I've asked, I'm like, what's a good racing system? You're like, car lesbians. I'm like, no, I don't need car lesbians. God damn it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to call it there for today. If you do find a game that does kind of do that well, feel free to send it into my server. I'm like 95% sure you are in it. Yeah, you are. Send it in my server into submissions, and I'll take a look over it. But thank you all for watching. Godspeed, good luck. I will catch you on Friday, most likely.